Does your narrowboat have a conservatory?
Today we are finally going to finish off what is one of the biggest upgrades our narrowboat has ever had.
And by that we mean front and rear narrowboat conservatories.
In the narrowboat community I have a feeling they call them pram and cratch covers. And today we're going to have our final visit from Titan Boat Canopies to finally get these new covers on.
And we are getting two.
I mean, in fairness, you've all got pram and cratch covers, haven't you, in your narrowboats? And you've probably got two of them. Or maybe you haven't got any. In which case, we are going to be far posher than the ones without. Maybe we could start a war. All the people with cratch and pram covers against the ones without pram and cratch covers. Ooh.
Anyway, this is the story of our narrowboat's conservatory.
So, as a lot of you are already probably aware of, we already had front and rear covers on the narrowboat, but we'll go into a little bit more detail into that later on why we need this huge upgrade. So here we go.
Right, let's strip her off.
And this is a really beautiful cover, really. It just had a few little problems. And then obviously with the big prang, and then my own personal issues with a narrowboat status, it's unfortunately time to move on 1 year later. So another reason why we chose Titan, not only because of the great name, was their ability and determination to adapt any of their canopy covers to our spec.
Now we still wanted to incorporate the front, the two eyes of the narrowboat into the cratch cover. Bex was adamant that she wanted to keep it. Steve said about cutting the whole bit off and putting a whole sort of bespoke metal frame on there, but Bex likes the eyes of the Whistling Wombat, so we've chosen to keep it. And luckily they're specialised in working around these sort of things.
Gonna leave this in for now.
Okay, they're going to be here in about 5 minutes. Let's get the back one off.
Now, as good as the back one here is, it keeps all the water out the engine bay which sits beneath it, but it's just time to move on because I want this big bad boy pram cover on the back here. And not only just because it makes the boat look amazing, but it's actually an extra room for the narrowboat.
We are actually toying with the idea of getting the old one fixed as well, just as a sort of backup. But also, I like the idea of the back one. You know, we might not always want the posh big one on the back. Sometimes we might want something a bit smaller, so hopefully we can still have it so it's adapted so that we can put the sheety sort of thing over the top again. All ready for Titan Boat Canopies to come up and deliver our posh covers. Yeah, we're definitely going to be part of the narrowboat posh club now. We're not even going to talk to people without cratch covers from now on. I'm a horrible human being.
No time like the present. Let's welcome both Steve and Jack from Titan Boat Canopies to the Whistling Wombat. One of the main ideas of these guys coming up today is because they want to fit a canopy cover which would be more classy than any other narrowboat on the cut. Yeah, and that includes yours. I am joking, obviously. Yours is lovely too.
Right, so here with Steve from Titan Boat Canopy, guys.
Hi guys, how you doing? We're going to start with the cratch as it's like loosely draped over the canopy, and we're going to turn it into something what hopefully you guys will like and appreciate. So thanks very much.
So first up, let's get the front canopy cover installed.
I want to pop in the press snap in here, but I want to get it right on the corner because we want this corner to sit nice and tight on the boat. And then we just
made that look easy. It took me about 5 minutes to do a hole on one hole on these. Stainless steel.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of our ones are rusted.
Got this silicone on there, CT1 on there like that. That's that. So this is a presses the clips into the canopy nice and securely.
Oh, you do that
to
get on the boat.
Just pop that there like that. And that holds up there nicely.
You excited, Bex?
Yeah, I know. It's looking good. I mean, it's not even on yet, but it's looking really nice. Not lovely colour.
And you can already see the quality here. This is the reinforced side panel. So they are going to have to whack a few little holes into the narrowboat. But mainly, one of the things Titan Boat Canopy do, and are proud of doing, is working within the customer's needs. And we were very adamant that we wanted to try and use some of the holes that the narrowboat had already got from its previous covers. Good old Titan, eh?
Have you ever fallen in?
Yeah.
Have you?
Third day out. Yeah, and he's got a t-shirt with honk written on it.
I've yet to fall in yet. It's gonna happen.
When are you meant to fall in when you become a narrowboater? Because I'm 3 years in and I still haven't fallen in yet. My falling in procedure is well overdue.
So are all these little bits you're putting in all stainless steel?
Yeah.
Oh, so they won't rust away, because we've had a few problems with that.
Wish I was made of stainless steel.
I know.
Most of the last ones were stainless steel, but the odd one sort of came through, didn't it? That wasn't stainless steel, so we'd have like sort of 1 out of 20 that was rusting, unfortunately.
Really bizarre. Maybe they're just throwing a crappier one like in their packs or something to save money, I don't know.
Another little crappy obstacle for Titan to have to work around.
We're going to incorporate our little video camera stand.
They're awkward to fit and awkward to design. Once you get them on, they are good little covers.
I love the fact that you can take the whole door off.
Yeah.
I think that's brilliant.
All these people have everything rolled up. You just think, well, why don't you just take it out and put it away?
Yeah.
Because they just get damaged.
And the amount of times you like kept knocking your head on it when it was rolled up.
Be going in with my rucksack on my back and you get pinned. Oh, it's looking so smart. It's well exciting seeing it sort of come to life.
Yeah.
It's like when someone gets a new swanky haircut.
Only a few little alterations, to be fair.
That laser device you've got the dimensions of it all. Looks lovely and tight, doesn't it?
See, I've been telling everyone about that. Like, anyone who stands still for long enough, is like, wow, this guy, you know, came with this amazing device and it does this. And brilliant.
What a nerd.
I am.
So in a couple of moments we're going to get onto the real big bad boy back one. But what is this coming into the marina? Just some random giant bit of foam.
The thing with these, what we like about these clips is they don't catch your clothes. So this bit here is like a storm, what they call a storm flap.
Yeah.
So it just keeps it nice and sealed.
Hello, baby. Coming to check out our new Canopy covers. Sopran Ella, the legend. Can you give me a little strokey? Hello. Come say hello.
She's certainly not camera shy.
No, we spared her one Sunday, didn't we? Oi, trying to eat me. Coming to see you now.
I just want to point out as well, the attention to detail that these guys go to is ace. Just check this out. So here, like where they've put all the press studs in, they've just lined them up so they're all just nice in line with one another. Just those little touches really make a difference.
Lovely large big windows on the front here. Absolutely love this, guys.
Doing your other side.
So obviously Steve has to do this from the inside here because there's no walkway.
Swearing side.
He said the swearing side.
No, the little bit greasy pants.
You reckon you can stroke them? Or touch her?
I'm trying to get to the fella.
How are the knees?
These are good, got the sponge.
It really shows the amount of detail that goes in on these things. Super tight.
So before we move on to the big bad boy back cover, the pram cover, let's run it all the way back. Let's give you guys a bit more clarity on why we need these two new covers on our narrowboat. And there's quite a few little elements to it, which all added to why we needed these covers. And more importantly, why we chose Titan boat canopies. So a long time ago, 3 years in fact, we purchased our disaster narrowboat. We did not know it was going to be a disaster narrowboat, but 2 days in, the lovely Rebecca Crobot, my partner in crime, discovered a horrible leak under the floorboards that we were completely unaware of. I mean, it was horrible, but it's just something that we had to work with. We had to try and make a positive out of a negative, and we decided that we were going to completely refit the entire boat and make it to our spec, to our perfect home. And in the process, learn all the little DIY skills and to learn our boat inside out for future problems.
Up first was trying to locate the leak and then working out how to stop the leak leaking into the narrowboat's bilges.
Thankfully, the water wasn't coming from the river. Even though condensation in the bow thruster area was one of the key factors, one of the biggest problems was every time it rained, water seemed to find its way down into the bilges.
At the time, we didn't have any pram or crutch covers on the narrowboat. Our narrowboat was naked.
And every time it rained, water would find its way in through little gaps in the bow area. Now, the bow area led into the bow thruster area, and the bow thruster area led down into the bilges, leading to a huge backlog of water in our narrowboat's bilges. So after working out sort of one of the main causes of the water down there, it was time to rectify it. And one of the big things to do here was to get front and rear covers to stop the water coming in. And yeah, we had a lovely crutch cover made on the front of the narrowboat, all handmade by a lovely friend of ours. And on the back, we had a very small sort of sheet put over it, which, yeah, it done its job, but it wasn't a conservatory, was it? It was just a little sheety thing. And if you want to become a proper narrowboat, I mean, we will get laughed at with our little sheety thing on the rivers and canals. We want to be like the big boys. We want to have the front and rear pram covers.
Because we want to be posh narrowboaters.
Fast forward a year and we finally got to take the narrowboat out. I believe it was to try and test the narrowboat's batteries. On the return journey, I decided to take it upon myself to bump the little narrowboat into a little bridge. Causing a little rippy in the new covers, leading to me being able to persuade Becca to get lovely new front and rear posh canopy covers in my never-ending quest to become one of the poshest narrowboaters on the cut. That is all rubbish, guys. The rivers had just been reopened due to bad weather conditions. We took the boat out. I lost control with the force of the river pushing me over into the... Well, you make up your own mind on whose fault it was, but I know exactly whose fault it was. Becca's for handing the controls over to me. A little bit more experience and I reckon I could have rectified it. But anyway, that's another story for another day. You've probably all seen the blimmin' video. On with the story. So obviously now the covers were completely trashed from that incident. The lady that made our original canopy covers, she done a really great job on them and they were homemade. She didn't really own a canopy company. She was just sort of working from home, so she done a great job. But there were a few little errors in it which would always bug me, like they were rusting a little bit in certain areas where not the right metals were being used. They were fraying also. And now with the huge rip from the bridge incident, I just thought, let's turn this into a positive and let's just get brand new front and rear covers. And the company that we're using, Titan Boat Canopies, also carry out a very, very professional repair service, so they can make these things look brand new again if we do happen to have any more little bumps. So first up, if you remember, my mate Steve came up from Titan Boat Canopies and he carried out a new laser procedure on the Whistling Wombat. He cleverly marked out all the dimensions of the front and rear parts of the narrowboat. Next up, we were invited up to Titan Boat Canopies to have a look around and see exactly how these canopy covers are made, and also to go over all the finer details and to make sure we are completely happy with every aspect of our new covers. And that is why Titan have been brought in to sort out my mess.
So exciting.
And by that I mean we are finally going to become part of the posh, upper-class narrowboat community. Yep, not just the standard little bugger on the front that you've all probably got. Also, the big bad boy pram cover on the back. Yeah, like I said, we are getting well posh. Okay, let's get back to the Whistling Wombat and see what Titan Boat Canopies is up to.
Let's have a look what's going on at the bottom of the boat, the stern.
So while Steve was finishing off the last touches in the front, Jack was in the back sorting out the big bad boy pram cover. The quality of these fittings is next to none, guys. These are solid stainless steel, and there's a quick release mechanism here in case you ever want to remove them.
Really strong these are. Stainless steel. Yes, the other side. We thought in the past maybe we couldn't have one of these sort of larger ones on the back because of all the bridges. And we've been told by Steve that these frames are mega quick release, so if any bridges sort of come in the distance, they really easily flap down.
So let's get the canopy loaded up.
A glamorous way of doing this. So what we do is got the zips, these hold the frames in place, so you go like that. A lot of companies, Chris, use Velcro here, we put a zipper on there.
There's little finishes.
Yeah. Thanks, Jack.
Spiders won't know what hit them.
Right, that goes over there like that.
Spiders love canopies.
It's amazing, like, seeing it come to life. Like, you know what it's going to look like from the pictures and stuff, but then it's, you know, in its construction, it's like, wow.
It does, it adds that final little touch to a narrowboat. So cool. We're going to have to start getting new thumbnails because we always use the old photos of the boat. Now people will know, won't they? So we're going to have to get whole new ones. Hello. It's a teddy, real life teddy bear that lives on the marina.
Another amazing thing about these canopies is that every single window can be taken out, front and rear, as a gazebo, something I'm really looking forward to in the summer months.
All of our clip marks are all done in the on the CAD drawing, so that buzz them on in the right place. When if you have to have another one, we know where all the clips are going to be.
Yeah, yeah, you go to the database and then...
you just go to, you know where they are.
Could you imagine if I bumped this one though? I mean, that would be horrifying, wouldn't it? But luckily, Titan have got a really, really good repair procedure.
How long do you reckon until we've got to go back there for a repair procedure? Well, I couldn't help notice how tightly they were pushing these over there, because everything needs to be taut on these things. So this is what the narrowboat looked like before the covers had been put on, and this monster is what Titan Boat Canopies has managed to pull off.
So Steve's going to tell us a little bit about our lovely new canopy covers. This is the pram cover.
This canopy is applicable to a semi-trad or a semi-traditional boat. So you're enclosing all of this area here. Obviously you can open up your hatch and have that open all the time when you're cruising. You've got a dry room, obviously when you're cruising or when you're moored up. It just gives you that extra space on the boat. So this is how quick our semi-trad canopies go down. And they're all pretty much within the same time scale of putting down. So you're going down the river and this is how quick they go down.
Wow, that's well quick though, isn't it?
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's just like, done.
So I don't know if we got that on a timer, but that's so canopy's down. Now I don't recommend doing this all the time because look how scruffy it looks on your boat. But if you're in an emergency and you're going down the river with that up like this, you can do this. Yeah. It's down to you whether you want to do it all the time. It will get grubby doing it like this all the time. So this is the emergency solution. So putting it back up, it's as quick as that, and you're back up again.
All little areas for spiders to harvest the little babies.
All of our panels roll up like this on sides, but also with our canopy is you can remove the panel. So you can remove each panel one at a time. And then you've got a bit of Velcro each end. You've got another open area. So again, you can do it with this side, and then furthermore, take the front out. We have another solution with this, is what we like is the breather. So you can undo this center section and it just drapes in. So the water will always run over here, but it lets airflow in. So that's what we call the vent. So again, this whole panel can come out. So you can just do this, do that, and then this whole panel comes out as well. Yeah. So it's like a little gazebo. You've got a nice open space. Materials are super waterproof. Heavy gauge moulded plastic zips, heavy gauge window, stainless steel fixings. Got shelter from the sun. Lose them for the summer months if you wish, or you can put them in as and when you need them. This is our standard. Again, go back to the video before when you come to the workshop. This is our standard. We don't have plastic. It's not done by us. We use proper stainless steel. We don't have a first degree or second degree. That's just what we do. These stop the windows from getting burnt. When you get really hot weather, it reflects the heat into the plastic and it protects your windows. The canopy is super small once you've taken out all of the window panels. When you've taken out the sides, back and front, you just don't see any bulk on the roof at all. Right.
Looks of it, you pull this out, this little pull peg, and the whole thing can come off that way. So you can get rid of the metal bars if you really want to. What are they called? Pull pin? I'm not quite sure.
Okay, so onto the front of the narrowboat, our cratch cover, and this is what it looked like after Titan got its hands on it. I mean, look at the size of that window. This is a huge upgrade, guys. I'm so chuffed. Sits on there mega tightly too, stainless steel fittings, and when you feel the materials used, you can also just tell that the quality is at a much higher standard. And a biggie here is that we can actually fully remove both these sides, these windows, so in the summer we just whack them both off and you have all that lovely fresh air running through the narrowboat.
So this is what we call a traditional cratch. We have removable sides. So this is one of our sort of things what we like to do at the company. I don't believe there's many other people in the country doing this. So you have a window blinds what poppers on the inside. So this actually goes internally. You can have an option of having them externally, and also you can have meshes, so you can have like fly meshes and stuff like that. We've done all sorts of requests and met customers' needs. Essentially, side zips out like that, and you can see there straight away you've got a nice opening, a nice clean, tidy cratch area for the summer, instead of all these bulks of material, and it isn't healthy for the window material either. If you see down here, we've got a Velcro tab here, which secures the fly on. Again, the Solida acrylic canvas. We also use a company called Sunbrella as well. Okay.
Yeah, brilliant.
So thanks for your business, guys, and yeah, happy boating for the season, and great being a part of your project.
Cheers, Steve.
Cheers, thank you, Brett. Cheers,
buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Jack. Cheers for your help. Thank you.
And I know some of you may be asking, why aren't you cracking on with the water tank? Why are you getting involved with all of this? Well, this is a little in-between thing that's just been sort of happening behind the scenes. And mainly because we wanted to take you guys along for the ride and just show you how these lovely canopy covers are made. And yet, I know I joked about us being the poshest narrowboat on the cut, but what we really want is for all of you to be posh with us. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us on this adventure. And a massive thank you to Titan Boat Canopies. And we'll see you next week for a more normal episode. Normal. See ya!